Children were picked up from outside school gates. Teachers knew. Pastoral teams went looking for children and picked them up from houses. And these are 14-year-old girls, white girls, 14-year-old working class, from houses with Asian men, men in their 30s, 40s, 50s. There's statutory safeguarding protocols that should have been followed. All of that went by the wayside. Of course, the classic takeaways and the nighttime economy, but it was organised. It was organised. Shabir Ahmed, the ringleader of the Rochdale grooming gang, worked out of a community centre. He was selling children out of a community centre. He had a black book of his, and he was making appointments. All of it hidden. He was establishment. He also was a senior figure on the board of trustees of the Citizens Advice Bureau. These are establishment Asian figures involved in the systematic grooming and gang rape of working class white girls. And Shabir Ahmed was a prominent figure in the Labour Party, and there are councillors to this day in that council chamber who knew him. These were racially motivated crimes, where the victims were white and considered to be an underclass by a metropolitan liberal, so-called liberal elite of whites who considered these white girls to be, and this isn't my words, making lifestyle choices. These are the words of the social workers at the time. How can a 12-year-old girl make a lifestyle choice to be in a takeaway, on the top floor of a takeaway with 20 men downstairs waiting to take their turn? It's horrific. Once you go into the graphic details of what happened, it's horrific. Yet none of these people are arrested. None of these people have been prosecuted. Why? It's because working class white girls were a price worth paying. They didn't matter enough. In a town like mine, they didn't matter enough.
What did matter enough? What was more
votes,
important than that?
Votes, power. 100% votes and power. The girls were white, and these were racially motivated crimes. No doubt whatsoever. You take the definition of racism in any other context, apply it in here, and every marker will be ticked. These were racially motivated crimes against white working class girls.
Which demographic is responsible for grooming and rape in these northern town scandals?
Predominantly Pakistani, occasionally Bangladeshi, almost exclusively Muslim. And I've been arrested for saying that, and I'll keep saying that. This town is run by gangsters. And the Labour Party are in bed with gangsters. And the reason why they're in bed with them is because they're reliant on the block vote. And I'm not on about wider gangsters, very specific. Pakistani gangsters, Bangladeshi gangsters, the Islamists from the mosques. The Labour Party have made partnerships with the most despicable of groups, and they are reliant on these people to provide them with a block vote to stay in power. They've sold our children and they look the other way. These people peddle drugs, and if you go to every one of these towns, what you will find, and this is the bit I find really troubling, liberal white women. So I'm talking about, and I'm saying the word women on purpose, I'm like, part of me thinks, these are girls who have been gang raped. Surely there's some sort of empathy with women, yeah? And these are liberal white women who are quite happy to forget all of that because it comes back to politics. All of this comes back to politics and the protection of the Labour Party and the dependency the Labour Party has on these block votes. My name is Raja Mir. I suppose I'm a whistleblower in the scheme of things. I'm a former, I advised government for a long time. I worked in central government. I worked under the Labour Party. I ran the last big project I had contracts with the Office for Security and Counter-Terrorism. I'm very well regarded in the profession I come from. Oldham is my hometown. The politicians in Oldham, Labour Party run, have covered up the grooming and gang rape of children, and the police have been involved, and they've been trying to silence myself and a growing number of campaigners in this town. And despite the best efforts, we have taken down 3 successive council leaders. And what are we campaigning for? A public inquiry into the cover-up of gang rape of children. It's not, how contentious is that? We want to safeguard our children. We want those who failed them to be held responsible. And most of all, we want those who raped our children to be arrested and prosecuted. The way we take these people out, and this is why they're scared of what I've done, essentially, is I spent time with the Labour Party. I spent time at the height of the Labour Party. I've seen how to campaign in communities, and I've seen what they've done, and I've just used everything I've learnt and brought it back into a town I understand very well. The Labour Party is dependent on a block vote. It's a block Muslim vote, and for that block vote to be effective, the white working class have got to be disempowered and feel that there's no point in voting. I got called a racist by saying I got the white vote angry. And I'm thinking, hold on, I got people angry. I got people angry that their children were being dragged off the street and raped. And I ran a campaign to say, these are the politicians who are covering it up. They won't support a public inquiry, vote them out. We get people angry for a reason that they care about. And people care about their children. What we also did, and this is really, really interesting, was we got people to tactically vote. This is a white, working class white, very strong Labour. Yeah, you know the cliches. You know, put a red rose out on a donkey or worse. Yeah, this is that sort of place. We've got people to vote Conservative. We've got lifetime Labour supporters to vote Conservative to remove Labour Party politicians in Labour Party strongholds. And the reason we've managed to do that is go and speak to people. It's as simple as that. You've got to go and speak to people. You've got to knock on doors. When you guys came up today, I was out campaigning. You've seen, I was sat in a coffee shop. An old woman was saying hello to me. You've got to go out. These people, the white working class in a town like mine aren't the racists that the metropolitan elite would like to think they are. They are decent, hard-working, the conservative, some small c conservative, family values, all of that, and they'll do the right thing. And I believe my people will do the right thing. And as long as someone leads them, someone comes forward and stands for them for the right reasons, because this is why the far right failed, because they never championed this for the right reasons. We are championing this for the right reasons. These are our children. This is our town. We want justice. And we're very, very clear. And we've won. And what we've managed to do also, and they failed in this, which is why they make reference to me as a gay Christian convert. The gay Christian convert bit is, these are the things that Islamically they can kill me for, yeah? Is because someone like me in the Asian communities is just as powerful, because when you come into the Asian communities, there are plenty of people that want nothing to do with this. And the Labour Party has always divided and ruled. Divide and rule one from the other, yeah? And what someone like me does is actually, my message resonates equally in the Asian communities with those who want nothing to do with the gangsters as it does in the white working class communities. And we would never have won in those places if we hadn't got both white and Asian to go and vote for the candidates we've supported. And yet we're the racists. Labour Party stronghold is Oldham. 47 councillors they had when we started. They're down to 32. 2 more and this council goes into no overall control. We took out Amanda Chadderton. Days before we take out Amanda Chadderton, the police hammered down my door. And I've been arrested multiple times before this. The police hammered down my door and arrest me on an anonymous complaint from someone that I was racist somewhere. I go to the police station, and by now I've got a legal team. My lawyer turns up, and he's like, Roger, they've already sent a fast-track charging decision to the CPS without interviewing you. And the reason they're doing that is they want to keep you on remand so you can't campaign in the lead up to the election. This is the 21st century liberal Western democracy, and the police are interfering in the election process, in the democratic process. The members of the rape gangs were powerful individuals in the communities I come from. They controlled votes. In the communities I come from, the votes, you don't go to and we talk about a block vote, it's postal votes. It's postal votes. This isn't someone going and putting an X. It's postal votes. This isn't voter fraud of someone turning up and not knowing who they are. This is postal votes. These people control postal votes. If I have 100 postal votes, I have power. If I have 1,000 postal votes, I can do whatever I want. And these people were protected because of the votes that they controlled. And no one wants to go there. The government won't go there. Go into any community such as mine, where the minority are the majority politically, overrepresented, overpowerful politically because of the white disengagement, white working class disengagement from voting, and you will see the same. Postal vote fraud is endemic, and postal vote fraud is at the centre of this. And what am I campaigning for? A public inquiry into why children in my hometown were groomed and gang raped in plain sight, and the authorities turned a blind eye. And I have a clear understanding of what took place. This is political. This is a Labour Party dependent on a block vote and willing to look the other way in exchange for making sure that block vote stays loyal. It's as simple as that. And they can call me racist as many times as they want. They can arrest me as many times as they want. But we're going to continue taking out Labour Party politicians in this town, including the MP, until we get a public inquiry. It's as simple as that.